Hey guys, it's Carson Perry. I hope everybody's enjoying their extended spring break and surviving this coronavirus. Today we're going to be talking about the Anas rub ripes, the American black duck. Um, the classification for this duck is going to be Kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Aves, order Anseriformes, family Anatidae, genus Anis, species rubripes. So, if you do any kind of hunting or bird watching or anything like that, or even know your ducks, you should know the difference between a black duck and a hen mallard. But for some people, they just don't know. While they do look the same, the American black duck can be drastically different, but that's it. That is if you know what to look for. A black duck is far darker plumage, and a drake will have a yellow bill, while a hen will have a dull green bill. It pretty much stands out once you get down to it. Um, both the black duck and the mallard are very similar in size. Drakes and hens weighing in approximately 2.5 to about 3 pounds. So let's get to know the old black yellow-billed ducky here. The American black ducks are slow, heavy flyers, but excellent swimmers, diving to avoid predators and sometimes to find their food. It's also been noted that American black ducks are far more wary compared to, like let's say a mallard or other species of ducks, and they do not tolerate much disturbance at all. During breeding seasons, males are monogamous, and the pairs stay together possibly for several more years afterwards. They court and form strong pair bonds in the fall and winter before migrating to breeding grounds. Pairs nest pretty close to each other. One male or pairs, if one male intrudes, the territorial male that's threatened chases and fights off the intruders. Their habitats: the black ducks are most common in the Mississippi and Atlantic flyways, while the highest concentrations being along the Atlantic coastline from Canada, maritime provinces, all the way down to Florida. During their breeding seasons, they are found in Canada, and their wintering numbers are the highest on the Atlantic coastline from Long Island, New York, all the way down to the great state of North Carolina at the Outer Banks. Alright, so the diet of the American black duck is mostly plant matter with insects added during the breeding season. Um, Plant foods include seeds, roots, tubers, stems, leaves of plants growing in moist soil and underwater. In the breeding season, adults and ducklings eat a diet high in animal foods, including aquatic insects, that being the larvae of mayflies, katydid flies, dragonflies, flies and midges, and beetles, crustaceans, mollusks, and sometimes even fish. And for most of us, we know that is because of the high amounts of protein that they need in order to either one, grow efficiently, or two, have enough protein to lay their eggs. Black ducks court and breed from March to May and utilize a variety of habitats for breeding, such as alkaline marshes, acid bogs, lakes, stream margins, fresh brackish and salt marshes, and the margins of estuaries. Nests are built on dirt mounds made of grass and weed stems and lined with down. Female black ducks lay about 9 white, cream colored, or maybe even pale greenish buff eggs, and they incubate them for 26 to 29 days. So conservation efforts around this duck have been a pretty big deal. Since the 1950s, the American black duck populations have been on the decline, but this is due to about everything else that we've discussed in this class and others throughout our time here at NC State. This has all been due to farming and logging and urbanization in the species, breeding and wintering habitats, both inland and on the coastlines. Duck hunting back in the 60s and 70s were a huge deal, but that is likely due to how much of their habitat in the western part of the Mississippi Flyway that they share with the mallards. Um, in the 60s and 70s, they could have harvested up to 800,000 per year. So that led to, in the 80s, the United States Humane Society really pushed for a new season to help start conserving this species. The season that was enacted was for 30 days a year, and the limit was one per person. For all my duck hunters, here in this class, and whoever else is looking at this video, you know that it's still that way here in North Carolina. We have about a 3 to 4 week season for them, and you can still only harvest one per day. Conservation continued. While farming and hunting might have limited the areas where the black duck thrives, but they're still in competition with mallards for nesting and feeding grounds. This is due to the mallard really thriving with urban environments, and will actually push the black duck away from this area just because of the disturbance that the mallard can stand and the black duck cannot. But just like with any aquatic species, black ducks are extremely sensitive to pollution and runoff that degrade water quality. In the mid-20th century, the pesticide DDT contributed to eggshell thinning similar to that of the bald eagle back in that time frame. This is all I have today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope everybody's staying safe. Continue to stay safe, and please remember to wash your hands.